Well, the name J.C. Williamson really dominated Australian theatre for over a century. The Performing Arts Collection received the Melbourne archive from J.C. Williamson when the firm closed in 1976, and it really forms the backbone of our collection. The collection contains thousands of items: photographs, posters, programs, press clipping books, stage designs and plans, correspondence, financial records, and other business documents. J.C. Williamson was an American comic actor who turned to theatre management quite early on in his career. He first came to Australia in 1874, starring in a production called Struck Oil with his then wife Maggie Moore. It was a huge hit, and he toured around Australia with that and overseas as well. He returned to Australia in 1879 and brought with him the rights to HMS Pinafore. He was a very astute businessman, and this is proven by the success of his company. In particular, the fact that he was able to secure the Australian performing rights for all Gilbert and Sullivan works helped the company over many years, particularly during hard times. The foundation of J.C. Williamson Limited really began in 1882 when Williamson formed a partnership with Arthur Garner and George Musgrove. This was known as the Triumvirate, and it was a very successful partnership. However, it did end, and Williamson continued on in various partnerships until forming J.C. Williamson Limited in 1911. Williamson, however, died in 1913 on a trip to Paris, but his company continued on. In 1920, J.C. Williamson's amalgamated with a competing management, J&N Tate. There were 5 Tate brothers who became the controlling force in Williamson's until the mid-1960s. When the company closed in the mid-70s, it was thanks to Lady Viola Tate, who was the widow of the youngest brother, Sir Frank, that the collection was saved from the stores behind Her Majesty's Theatre and the offices at the Comedy Theatre, and they were donated to the Performing Arts Collection. Lady Tate's legacy has been continued recently as her 3 daughters have donated their late mother's collection to the Performing Arts Collection, which really continues on the J.C. Williamson archive. The massive J.C. Williamson archive has been sorted, listed and rehoused thanks to the help of Gerald Taylor, one of our wonderful volunteers.